Live with Bob Hansen, Tom Luchak, Sean O'Malley, Adam Fitzgerald, and Andy Van Meer. This is Buffalo After Dark.
All right, guys, welcome to Buffalo After Dark. It is Wednesday, September 29th. It's going to be a quick hour, but obviously we got a lot to talk about. Before we get to our breaking news of the night, Bobby, how you doing?
Good. I just have a cup of iced tea, and tonight's sponsor is by Hunt's Ketchup.
Nice.
Yeah,
this was good with everything.
This was actually my wife to be's idea because she's like, "Why don't you?" Because we had I had a bison burger earlier for dinner because I came home from the gym working out. She's like, "You should totally use this as a corresponder," and I'm like, "Okay, fine." Even though we're not sponsored by Hunt's Ketchup or anything, but it's the same taste that everyone loves if you're a fan of ketchup.
Awesome. Mr. Bubba Matt, how's it going down in Hotlanta?
Not much, man. Typical freaking Georgia fall weather. Today's high was in the freaking mid-80s, so what can you do?
Right.
Yeah.
But you guys have a big college matchup coming up later this week, too.
Yes, we do. 8th-ranked Arkansas versus 2nd-ranked Georgia. I was planning on going to that game. I'm going to see if I can still make it. But I'm sure the tickets are going to be freaking high as heck up there.
I gotcha. We can actually talk a little bit more about that during the show as we go through. And then, of course, Andy Van Meer, a.k.a. JJ Petrarca's best friend.
I sure am.
Nice.
I love him.
And I know you've got some preseason news later, too. So, of course,
Andy is desperate to talk about some Sabres preseason hockey.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep, I'm going to the game Friday, too.
Sweet.
Sounds like fun. No, wait. Why would you spend money on preseason tickets when you could just save your money on regular season tickets?
Hey, man, they're cheap, man. $22 for 100 level? Take it.
I mean, I wouldn't blame the people who make that price considering how garbage the Sabres have been for like 10 years already.
The 300 level is $6.
$6?
$6.
Listen, I ain't complaining.
Right.
I want to see kids play, man.
Oh, I got you, man. But anyways, of course, we're going to start off with some breaking news in just a moment. But if you want to get on the show, 929-205-6099 is the number. And, of course, on our chat, the ID and passcode to get in is all there. So if you want to call in, you're more welcome to over the next hour. And we're going to start with some breaking news. So this was announced around 7 o'clock, and this comes out at WKBW-TV out in Buffalo. But New York State has entered into a contract with 2 firms to help with the stadium negotiation process. So the first firm is called O'Melveny and Myers LLP, which is going to provide legal services related to negotiations on behalf of New York State for the project. The second firm, and this is actually funny that New York State's contracting with them because the Bagulas contracted with them. It's AECOM, which did the stadium study. And apparently New York State now wants to analyze options, including the stadium size, what's going to be in the stadium, the location of where the stadium will be, and as much as the Bagulas have said that they're not going to renovate Highmark Stadium, New York State wants to study renovating Highmark Stadium versus building a new stadium. So what I want to do, Bobby, go ahead and take it, man. What's your thoughts?
Well, for me, it just sounds a lot like a bit of he said, she said. One group wants to build a new stadium, even though they know full well that the contract ends in 2023. So they're like, we have to get the stadium. And the state is like, no, we don't want to do that. We want to keep being a bunch of cheap asses and start renovating Highmark Stadium. And I think they know that the stadium is in dire situations regarding contract situations as far as length. So they got to start negotiating because at some point, I mean, I know we spoke about this like 2 months ago, that there's a waiver on the Bills contract that whenever the stadium gets built, they can't move the team out of Buffalo. So we already have that out of the window at this point. So they got to get something figured out.
Okay, cool. Mr. Bubba Matt, what's your take?
Oh boy. Honestly, I'm just gonna wait until confirmed information is out because everyone is saying different things. these guys saying one thing, another group saying the other. It's just it's a mess. All right, because here's the thing: the closer we get to the deadline, the sooner they have to freaking make a decision. So I'm just gonna wait until the official information on the whole thing, and we'll take it from there.
Cool. Andy, what's your take?
It's gonna be interesting to see what they come up with in the end. I'm really intrigued as to what way they're gonna go with this, because I know so many people want the stadium in a different area. They want it closer to the city, and there's a lot of people that just says leave it where it is and just keep renovating. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they want to do. I'm kind of intrigued. Me personally, I wouldn't mind seeing it closer to the city, but I also wouldn't mind if they actually renovated it and actually made it look a hell of a lot better than it is now.
Yeah. I mean, my thought on it is, I honestly would not mind seeing it downtown, and I really think it should be downtown, and it actually should have been a long time ago. But one of the other things I look at is, in terms of the downsizing of the stadium, 60,000 seats not enough. It's got to have at least, I would say 65 would be a comfortable number. And the other thing I look at is, a lot of people have said leave it open air versus having a retractable roof on it. The thing I kind of look at, my own take on it, the retractable roof would go so much more to market bigger events. You could do things like the NCAA Final Four. You could do potentially a Super Bowl, because a lot of times they're not going to go into a cold weather climate. And then the other thing I see is, especially with University of Buffalo, they're actually they're actually starting to build up in Division One, and it's like, you know what, it gives them even a better place to look at for some big games. Now, one other fun thing that came out earlier this week is now the University of Buffalo is even wanting to get in on the action, and they're like, well, we would love to partner with the Bills, but we want the Bills stadium on the UB North campus. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out, but it's
they wanted an Amherst.
Yeah, apparently University of Buffalo does. There was one article that came out of it. Now, here's one thing with that. Amherst, yeah, it's easy to get to. The only problem, and the other thing is that they are going to extend the train line up to UB North within the next few years. That's under the final study process, and they're actually going to have multiple stations within the UB North campus, because they're going to build a big parking right off Interstate 990, which is fine. I mean, a lot of people will probably use it, and they can commute to downtown pretty easily. But still, how are you going to get people in and out of Amherst easily? Right now, rush hour is bad enough as it is over there.
How are you even going to fit a stadium in that area?
I
I used to live just around the corner from UB North campus, and trust me, Amherst is not a big place.
Right, and I live like 7 miles from it.
Well, I could certainly say
I'm right around the corner.
Yeah, I was gonna say though is the only thing I've heard consistently, I've probably, since they've been talking about this, the closest thing I've heard as far as putting the stadium over in two locations. One is in downtown, which is very consistently heard of. Mm-hmm. And the other one, and I heard they might take the New York Mets route, and you'll understand in a minute what I'm talking about, is I've heard that they might build the new stadium right next to Highmark Stadium, build a brand new stadium in there, and knock down Highmark Stadium or Rich Stadium, whatever you want to call it, and make it its own parking lot. Because if you come down to Queens, and I know Tom has, because I took him there. When you went to see Citi Field, remember those little gold plates you saw at the parking lot?
Yeah, that was the old part of Shea Stadium.
Exactly. So what you would see at Citi Field is what I would potentially could see with the Bills is this could be the end zone. This could be the 50-yard line. This could be this. So if they're smart, that's what I think they should do, is build the new stadium, have their final goodbyes at Highmark Stadium within a couple of years, at 23, 24, whenever it is. And then once it's all done, knock it down and build a extended parking lot. And I think that would get a lot of fans' attention. That's what I think they should do.
Yeah. It'll definitely be interesting either way to see how things go, because now with New York State wanting to get in on it, I mean, we all know New York State screws up so much stuff. I mean, that's a given. But it'll be interesting to really see. And now they're taking that step to go forward and basically negotiate a deal. So it'll be interesting. But here's another thing that came out, and then we'll get into the hotbox topic of the Buffalo Bills destroying Washington. But did any of you guys see that now they want personal seat licenses for the new stadium?
Yeah. The other thing I heard too was that the Bills or the Pagula, as I've heard, are willing to sell their PSLs to get a little bit of money towards the new stadium.
Yeah, and basically it's at least $1,000 a piece is what they're looking at. And I mean, of course, fans would be on the hook for it, but if you sell your PSL, you can sell it to the highest bidder.
Or do this, sell the Sabres.
That too.
Oh boy.
That's just me being
Oh boy.
what?
We're gonna talk about Sun Sabres now. Here we go.
What?
I mean, this honestly reminds me of how Atlanta did it because they built Mercedes-Benz Stadium literally next to then Georgia Dome, and when they had their last games at the Dome, they tore it down and made it to a whatever it is. But honestly, I kind of like that idea Bob brought up.
Right. And then I remember the old Omni down in Atlanta, and now it's State Farm Arena. They basically demolished and reused the same site.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hawks ended up playing somewhere else for 2 years.
Right. But this whole thing is just going to be a bunch of information that's going to come out, and people are going to start asking questions like, what's going on with this? Why are the Bills doing this? Why are the Bills doing that? It's just going to be a big ass game of just information being spurred around. Like one says Amherst, another says downtown, another says Orchard Park, right next to the Rich Stadium, whatever it's called, and then so on and so forth. And now they want to sell their PSLs. It's a carousel with the Buffalo Bills at this point, with the whole stadium situation. But there is no doubt in my mind, though, that they will get a stadium. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And especially with, I mean, I will say I was at the game this past Sunday. I mean, it was great to see the crowd in there. I mean, they actually still had over 68,000. So, I mean, and that was even with the mandatory vaccine check and everything. But I will say, there's definitely a nice energy in that place now that we're finally winning games consistently, which is huge. And Bobby, you remember this from the home opener 2 years ago, like literally nobody sat the entire game in the stands. Everyone was standing the entire time, and that's what we did.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, me and my fiance came to Buffalo 2 years ago during September, and we were at the Bills home opener against the Cincinnati Bengals. And we were right at the end zone, and nobody sat down during the game. Everybody was wearing the white jerseys. Everybody's roaring, having a blast and all that stuff. We were tailgating. It was a fun time. Would I do it again? Of course. But I obviously want to go somewhere else a little bit differently this time if I'm going to watch the Bills in a different stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, for sure.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Well, we're going to move on to the hot box. So, of course, if you guys want to get on the show, you know the deal, 929-205-6099, or feel free to go ahead and jump in on the Facebook chat. You guys are more than welcome to. Ryan Coggill's in the comments, and he's basically saying we already know it's staying in Orchard Park. Well, the only thing is now the state's looking at it a little bit different, and that ended up coming out just around 7:00 tonight. But he's also saying no downtown stadium. He thinks that there should be a retractable roof at the very least. Cheddar Bob's in the chat. He's saying, yo. And then he's also asking if anyone saw the Sabres win. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And then Ryan's also saying that's a plan right across the street. It's already been confirmed. But now, of course, New York State's throwing another wrench into it. I mean, it's probably going to be right across from where Highmark is at this point. But now the state wants to look at everything again. So we shall see what happens. But the hot box, Washington got destroyed by the Buffalo Bills. It was not even close. Josh Allen, 358 yards, 22-point win. And even if I would have played him on my fantasy team, I would have still lost.
Yeah, and on top of that, he was named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
7 times got an award.
You know what's really interesting? I found out this morning, and I read an interesting stat. 15% of the starts that Allen got the Bills went 9-0 when he was named Offensive Player of the Week.
It was insane.
See, and he only got that once.
Yeah.
Hey, who got online?
He only got that one. He only got that once.
Wait, who do we got online?
Yeah. Hey, caller, what's
You
your
know
name?
who this is, Bobby?
Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, Allen only got that once, so be happy.
Listen, the Eagles fucking suck, so I might as well shut. Listen. We watched the Eagles on Monday Night Football. You sucked cock, okay? You have no say whatsoever.
Look who you guys played. Look who you guys played. You guys played Washington football team.
Oh
That's
my
the
God!
only reason why you guys played the Washington football team. Was the only reason why you guys scored 43 points.
Oh my God! Yo, you make any excuse as far as like regarding the Bill situation. I mean, dude, the Eagles fucking suck. All right,
the Eagles suck. I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one of it. That was the most terrible game that I've seen them play in a long time. Hurts with two interceptions.
Oh God. Oh yeah, and you just barely beat the 49ers, even though the 49ers beat you. So we
barely lost to the 49ers.
Yeah.
So, but look who we played. Look who you scored 43 points on.
Congratulations, you beat the fucking Falcons.
That's a badge of honor.
The best part of it all. Did anybody see the Sabres win the other night?
I did.
Yep, and that's actually one thing we're going to get into. So of course with Washington, it was a blowout win. It was beautiful to see. And as these guys know, I told them in the pre-show, I was there. I saw that beer, which was pretty interesting because the Washington fans got kicked out right after, not by anyone's choosing. And of course, we saw some fans huffing beer out of their masks and using it as beer funnels. So we got to see that. But Andy, preseason, Columbus ended up losing to the Sabres 5-4. Tell us a little bit about it, and then Cheddar, we're going to get you in on it as well.
Oh, all right. Where do we start? We start with the first period with the Sabres going down. Well, I think it was 2-1 at the end of the first. Kids were lost. They were trying to find their groove. Like the majority of these kids were just starting off in their first ever preseason. And it was really nice to see finally toward the end of the game. The third period was probably the best hockey they've played. The second period was kind of lackadaisical, but I'll tell you what, Aaron Dell, we all know how I feel about Aaron Dell. And he proved why I said no the way I did last season. And hasn't proven me wrong yet. So, let in 3 goals, looked like total hot garbage. I pray to God he stays in the AHL. I hope they send him down. I'll take Tokarski, and I'll have him back up Anderson. I'll be perfectly fine with that. But
Are you sure about that? I'm
so sure about that. I hope he gets buried in the ECHL. That's how bad I hate that guy. Absolutely garbage. But it was nice to see the kids rally last night. I mean, a lot of people probably turned it off after seeing it was 4-1 after the second period. The second period or the third period with Ryan McKinnis's goal, or what the hell's his name? Nick Murch's goal. Probably shouldn't count. It kind of looked like he punched it in with his fist, but they let it stand. It counted for a goal, and then the rally began. JJ Turk's goal was excellent. Weisbeck's goal to tie it up was fantastic. They rallied, they played well, and they were able to scoop up the win in shootout with Jack Wynn's goal. And we'll see how it goes Thursday versus Detroit, and then we'll see how it goes Friday when I go to the game. So
awesome.
Good to see for the kid.
What did you think of Jack Quinn on that shootout goal?
Oh, it was a phenomenal goal, but I was watching him. To me personally, I thought he looked a little. I mean, granted, yes, it's his first preseason game this year, but he
looked a little off.
Looks like he doesn't belong. Almost like he's not ready. He's just not ready.
That's what I think. I think he was a little off.
I mean, but Turka looks like he's just about ready to go. Like this kid flies around. He's in on every play. I'm very excited for Turka. I'm very high on him, and he didn't disappoint last night. And when I went back and told you guys about Weisbeck and how he looked in the prospects challenge game with his speed, and he came up with a 3-point night last night, including the game tying goal. So I mean, I don't know if he's going to press for a spot with Buffalo, but he will definitely make Rochester for sure.
Do you think though? And here's an interesting question for everybody in this call. Do you think that this prospect will, with the likes of Petra or Petra, I would say his name, Cousins, Quinn,
Turka,
whatever, who gives a fuck? Anyway, so
show some respect to that kid's name.
No, fuck you. All right, fuck you. Anyway, so those kids all around, along with like Power, Quinn, Hughes, Petra, whatever the fuck his name is, UPL. Do you guys think that they would actually make the playoffs with these kids within 2-3 years from now than what they would have had with Jack Eichel?
It's a good question.
I don't think so. I don't think so, but that's just my opinion.
Of course.
Andy, what do you think?
Well, it's definitely going to take some time for these kids to gel, and over the next 2 years, you're going to have, depending on what happens with Jack and what happens with him and what we get back, and that's a whole nother fucking issue that is just I don't even know what to make of it anymore. We all want that shit to be over with and just move on, be done.
Right.
But I think in maybe 2 years, if they keep this core together, however they decide their main core is really going to be, besides Cousin and Middlestat and Darlene and Power, it's all going to be about who they build around them. But the thing is, if they don't get better goaltending, this is not going to go anywhere. Like Anderson and Dell are stopgaps till UPL comes up. We all know that. But they also got to find another person to, be another good backstop who can take 20 games and actually, a good record. You know what I'm saying? Because Dell looks like Carter Hutton 2.0 right now.
Oh God.
Yeah, but that's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying for the past 2 years. Is that our goaltending needed to get better? Because Hutton can't do it all.
No, Hutton is not even on the team anymore.
Yeah,
I think at this point, at this point, you knew right away that Kevin Adams fucked up big time when they brought in Craig Anderson and Aaron Dell. The episode that we shot right before season one's finale was me, Sean, and Andy, the three of us. Funniest moment in the first season. No.
Right. And then the second season, our premiere episode last week. That's how the show started. When we mentioned it was like, oh hey, how do you really feel about Craig Anderson?
Am I lying? Am I lying after what we just saw?
No, you're not. I mean, Craig Anderson sucks, so we all know that. Andy Dell's even worse.
AHL goaltender. Aaron Dell's a career AHL goaltender.
Yeah. If he can even make it to that.
Well, I hope he's UPL's backup, because that dude does not belong up here. Because I don't care if his pads are sweet, his gear is awesome looking. He still played like he was all over the fucking net. Like, dude, he couldn't get from one side to the other without just going completely out of order. Like, I couldn't stand it.
Right. Well, one thing I've noticed with Dell, he can't even control the crease properly. That tells you.
His movements are just ridiculous. Like,
he sucks.
He tries to act big in the net, and he's not big in the net. It's like puck's going over him. I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous.
At least I'm not the only one that thinks that.
Yeah, he's like Andrew Dell's like a Tim Thomas wannabe, except he's not Tim Thomas.
No. Aaron Dell will never be compared to Tim Thomas. There's a difference between Aaron Dell and Tim Thomas. Is Tim Thomas actually had a good career while he was in that
and
very
he won the
long,
cup.
and he won a Stanley Cup, and he won a Conn Smythe Trophy.
Right. Andy Dell. What have you won? 0.
Yeah, 0-0-0-0 at this point.
Tokarski actually played a pretty good game last night and actually kept that team in it. Yeah, he only allowed 1 goal to Dell's 3, but seriously, Tokarski played really well. Even in the shootout, he played really well. And a couple shooters he faced.
But now, who do you think our starters should be? Dell or Tarowski?
It's going to be Henderson.
I think it's going to be Anderson. I have to think it's going to be Anderson.
More than likely, and I almost think that UPL is going to probably get some games at some point.
Yeah, they're going to probably give UPL the full weight of the AHL schedule.
Absolutely.
Let him get one whole fucking AHL season under his belt, and there you go, kid. Here's the reins. Your number 1 goaltender, most likely.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Got to follow the plan.
Yep. And so, Sean, do you have any update on the Seattle Kraken this past week? Because I know they just had their first preseason game.
Yes. First ever preseason game in franchise history when they let's see. Let me bring it back up again. I know they beat Vancouver Canucks. Let's see. I got it
I think
right
they got
here.
their ass kicked last night.
I'm pretty sure it was like 5-3 over.
It was 5-3. Well, this was after they were down like 2-0 in the beginning. So that was on Sunday, and then yesterday was just a complete crap show. I'll just leave it at that.
Connor
Hey, say it
McDavid.
how it is, man. We're not censored on this show.
Yeah, well, all right. It was it was
Say it
horrible.
again.
It was
Say how
horrible.
bad it was.
It was freaking horrible. All right,
Okay.
6-0. Like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to Connor
Oh.
McDavid show.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad it's still preseason. So
Right. That's
anyway,
almost when you
I
say
mean,
welcome to the NHL.
To be honest, those jerseys actually don't look too bad when you see them on the ice with the lights. They don't look too bad at all.
yeah, they're pretty dope. I might get a home and away jersey hopefully sometime down the road.
Yeah.
But
And as Gritty likes to put it, welcome to preseason, where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
That's nice
Yeah,
to know.
like that show,
Philadelphia
that's my line
still a
anyway.
fantasy land.
Yeah, and they're actually playing in less than half an hour against Calgary.
Ooh, that's not
Really?
too big.
Yep.
Shoot. Huh.
Yeah, damn straight. Oh, and if you don't know who Gritty is yet, Sean, I'm sending you a picture now. This guy literally has a squeaky belly button.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh man.
How did that clown get so popular as a mascot?
Because he's unique.
I was kind of
Yeah, probably because of the name.
Where have I seen this before?
I don't know. In your
I
nightmares?
might have. I might have.
on the interwebs
Right.
or something.
I've seen. I think I've seen a picture of that before somewhere like long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just found out from Chris Sims of I believe it's NBC Sports or whatever it is, the podcast for Peacock. He just reported that Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie has, quote, green-lighted a potential trade for Texans superstar quarterback Deshaun Watson.
Bro,
Ooh.
if we
Wow.
get Watson, we'll be the laughing stock of the NFL.
You don't think so?
I think we will be the laughing stock of the NFL.
Well, too late. You're already being beat out by the Jets.
All right, that's good at least.
And that's even having Jalen Hurts. So-
Yeah, bro, Jalen Hurts looks so bad on Monday night. It's not even funny. He kept on throwing that short pass to Devontae Smith and Goddard, and Trayvon Diggs told him if you because they even said it. Trayvon Diggs told him you better stop with that shit because I'll be on it all day long. And surely look what happened. Trayvon Diggs picked it off for a touchdown.
It actually made Zach Wilson look better.
Absolutely.
That's
I mean,
I don't even know.
yeah,
ooh.
good stuff.
The
And then,
one thing I
sorry.
can tell you is that we have a lot of players that are hurt. Brandon Brooks, Brandon Graham, Rodney McLeod. our starting left guard, we're all hurt. So I'm not using that as an excuse of why we lost, but we have so many starters that are hurt at the moment that it's hard to judge and how we're going to be the rest of the season.
Yeah, true story. I mean, it's a good point. And then what we'll do is we're about a little over 30 minutes in right now. So if you guys want to get on the show, I mean, we've got about 25 minutes left. Feel free to give us a shout, 929-205-6099. Bobby, you actually had some interesting news right before we ended up going live today, and you wanted to talk about the Henderson trade.
Yeah, and so before, wait, what is it you wanted me to talk about again?
The trade.
Oh, that's right, correct. So for anybody out there who, I don't know how many of you follow the Jacksonville Jaguars, raise your hand. Nobody? Okay.
Is that the CJ Henderson trade?
Correct. That's right. So for those who did not see the trade, because you know how many people I've spoken to about this, and they're like, dude, I didn't even know this happened. So for those who missed it, on Monday morning, and the rumor mills has been going on for a while now, and the Eagles were linked to this, and then officially at this point it was like dead, and that was CJ Henderson. I don't know what happened behind the scenes. I don't want to act like I do know what happened because I'm not. But CJ Henderson on Monday morning got traded to the Carolina Panthers in exchange for tight end Dan Arnold and a 2022 third-round pick heading to Jacksonville, and of course, the Jaguars also gave up a fifth-round pick along with Henderson to the Panthers.
Yes, the reason that Henderson got traded to the Panthers is because the Panthers' starting cornerback got hurt, season ending, and they needed a cornerback, so they traded Jacksonville.
Yeah,
and I'm actually kind of upset about that. I'm kind of upset about that because Dan Arnold fit in the Carolina Panthers offensive scheme, and I honestly don't think that they should have gave it up, because now, I mean, the only good thing that comes out of it is that now Trevor Lawrence has somebody to actually throw to, except for DJ Shark.
Okay, I'm gonna put my opinion out here for this, and everybody else can commit to it as well. Is there are so many factors that a lot of fans don't realize what's going to happen. And that is, yes, I agree with you that Trevor Lawrence needed a tight end, and Jacksonville's been looking for one for a while. But here's my problem. If the Jaguars really liked Dan Arnold, why didn't they sign him in free agency when he was available? That's my number one concern. Number two, I understand that they also got J.C. Horn and all that, and he got injured. He's done for the year. And it's a clear indication the Panthers are still competing. And on top of all that, if you look down the road and just Carolina's secondary as a whole, look what they got going forward into 2022 and beyond. You have J.C. Horn, you have A.J. Boye, you have Dante Jackson, and you have C.J. Henderson, all in your secondary. Think about that.
Carolina,
but C.J. Henderson's going to start.
Well, right now, yeah, he's going to. But what's going to happen when Horn comes back? Do you take A.J. Boye out of the picture, and do you just slot him in as the number two? Like, what goes on here?
Honestly, I think C.J. Henderson is honestly a better cornerback. So I think Horn goes to the number two slot, and Henderson gets to start. I honestly, me personally, not just because I live in Florida and whatever. I like C.J. Henderson. C.J. Henderson has always been good. He was the number one cornerback in Jacksonville when he got drafted, and he made some good plays, but that goes along with Jalen Ramsey. Look what Jacksonville did with Jalen Ramsey when they signed him, and he played a season or two, and then got traded to the Rams. And look at him now. Jalen Ramsey is still considered one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL right now. And honestly, I don't think that Ramsey is. I think he just talks a lot of shit.
He does, and you know what? He's a good corner, that's for sure. But does anybody have an opinion on this?
He's a good one, but he's not. But he's not spectacular.
Nah. No, not at all. Did any of you have an opinion on the trade that happened over the week?
I mean,
No,
Carolina got better. Straight up.
Did anybody hear who the Bucs just signed?
Yep, I heard. I did.
Richard Sherman.
Yep, well, Richard
Your
Sherman.
deal.
What?
Yeah,
The
1
Bucs
year.
ended up signing Richard Sherman 1 year deal. I think it
Yeah,
was like 2.5
the
million or something.
Bucs signed Richard Sherman. But now let me ask you a question. What do you guys think about that little incident that he had?
Which one?
No.
Do you think that the one where he tried breaking into the house and he got it was DUI? Like, how do you think he got out of that?
Oh, he fought somebody off.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, no idea.
Money talks.
Yeah. Or remember his infamous rant against Michael Crabtree?
Oh yeah.
Where he's like, don't you ever talk about me, Crabtree.
Oh man. That was great. That was great.
Man. I gotta tell you, he's like one of those guys. It's just funny listening to him, especially when he gets irritated at somebody, like especially Crabtree. I mean, he's hated him since day one. But that rant was probably one of the greatest things I ever listened to. Then I remember one of the Washington linemen ended up punching him out not too long after that.
Yeah.
At the end of the game.
Oh, guys, we actually have some breaking news. Adam Schefter on ESPN is now reporting that Marlon Mack and the Indianapolis Colts have agreed mutually that they have indeed will request a trade out of Indianapolis. So Marlon Mack is indeed requesting a trade out of Indianapolis.
Ooh. Hey, Trevor Hauer, if you're around, jump on. Because I know you actually cover the Colts quite a bit.
Yep. So we only got like 20 minutes left. So maybe 20, 25 minutes. But yeah, in general, though, I feel like there's going to be more and more speculation as it grows on throughout the entire season. Like, I strongly feel that we're going to be getting to that point where I think, I wouldn't even be surprised either if, as I brought this up last week on the show, I have a feeling the Jets are going to look to trade Denzel Mims, and they've been trying, but nobody is going to take him for whatever reason. And considering the fact that Denzel Mims was a second-round pick out of Baylor, and then all of a sudden it's just like, nobody wants to take him. Why is that? He's not even playing. He's healthy scratching the majority of the lineup. It's just mismanagement, in my opinion, from the Jets' perspectively. But then again, who am I to talk?
Good points. But we have a little bit of time left before we end up wrapping up for the night. And actually, one of the things I know, Bobby, you mentioned is one of the Dallas prospects has decided to already call it a career.
Yeah, it wasn't Dallas. It was the Devils.
Oh.
But, yeah, I actually tried to pronounce his name, but it was Russian. So let me go get that article real quick. I actually just had it. Here it is. So his name is Nikita Popnagaev. I cannot pronounce this. So if I butcher his name, I apologize. He has announced his retirement from professional hockey at the age of 22 to start a new career as, drum roll please, as a social media influencer.
What?
Yeah. You retire from hockey to be a social media influencer.
Let me understand this. You're retiring and giving up guaranteed money to
billions of dollars. Oh my gosh. Why? Why?
That's a great question. So to give you a background on this guy, Popnagaev was drafted in the 4th round, okay? 4th round, 4 years ago in 2017, NHL draft by the New Jersey Devils. It made stops in the CSKA Moscow and the KHL, and he played for the Binghamton Devils and the Adirondack Thunder and a bunch of other clubs as well throughout his career. So internationally, he was representing Team Russia at the Under-17 World Hockey Challenge and the 2017 CHL Super Series. So why would you waste your career at that young age when you're still developing and then just go and be like, hey, guys, this is Nikita here.
Hey, this is me. Follow me on my TikTok account. I will show you all the ways and the means of the world.
What the fuck is that?
That's what he's doing. He's giving up guaranteed money and a chance to play hockey everywhere to be a TikTok social media wannabe.
Wait. Do that voice again.
Hey, my name is Nikita. I'm giving up hockey because I want to be a TikTok wannabe.
Dude,
What the freak?
There's one of our funny moments of season 2 already.
Like
You sound.
dude, you sound like a pedophile.
that was
From Germany.
Pedophile, like.
That's what you sound like.
Oh God.
Oh man! So
No,
you mean to tell me this
Tom.
dude?
I think that's going in our top 5 at the end of the season of most weird moments.
Oh man!
Dude,
No,
it's
Tom,
like,
I'm not getting the candy, and I'm not coming in for van. No, sorry.
Oh, yeah, from Tampa.
You're not influencing me that way.
So you,
yeah, and I like to text little boys.
gosh. So let me. So you mean to tell me you're giving up potential millions of dollars to be a professional hockey, so you can be the next Logan Paul?
Yeah, basically.
Of
Bruh.
Russia.
Bro, I'm. These young kids these days,
Whatever,
man.
man. It's his decision. Let it be. Nobody even knows who the fuck this guy even is.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Dude, sorry, I
Who's he
didn't
gonna
even hear him
influence when
until
nobody
Bobby
even
mentioned
knows who he is?
Well, I found it on like yesterday, and I'm just like, oh my god, how embarrassing does that have to be sounding like? I would understand if it was a career-ending injury or something severe like that, but to be a social media influencer, that's like giving up your career in politics to be a baker. Like seriously, to work at a bakery, and you give up all that profit just to do that.
I don't get it.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
I'm actually kind of intrigued to see what he's going to influence or who he's going to influence
yeah,
doing what.
the influence though. That's what I'm kind of wondering.
I don't get it, but it is what it is, and I can't really complain too much either because of the fact that it's happened and there's no other way around it. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean,
Well, keep tabs on this guy. We gotta see this clown head.
Yeah,
least-
I'll have to revisit that later this season.
the least we could do is invite him on the show and ask him, sir, in Russian, why did you give up your hockey career to do stupid TikToks?
Yeah, really.
Did Jack Hughes
Right.
touch you in your private parts, kid?
Wait, what, Britt?
What's his TikTok name?
I don't know. Brittany wants to know what his TikTok name is.
Oh,
I don't know.
even know.
I don't know.
Can you speak Russian, Britt? Okay, there you go. Because I certainly can't.
Okay.
So
here we go.
a little bitch. I don't know.
Yeah, or how about this? Principal Lika vam Zek Eichel Gogdavi Belomoshev.
Wait, what the fuck was that? Was that Spanish?
That,
What?
that didn't sound half bad for Russian.
That
was Russian?
Yeah,
That's Russian.
Yeah, that's Russian.
yeah, that
What?
was Russian.
Wow.
Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna send you the translation or what I just said, and then
I can't read.
and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna
can't
send you
read
the
Russian.
English version of what was just said.
Where's the translation button?
That's basically what I just said.
How do you even say that shit?
It actually shows like somewhat of a I don't even know how to read any of that crap. But
It's like fucking
it actually-
hieroglyphics.
yeah, but what it did though, like if you do like English to Russian on Google Translate, it actually kind of shows like somewhat of an English translation to it. So that's basically how it was like said instead of all the symbols.
I don't understand it, but it is whatever.
Man, I couldn't even. God, I couldn't even say that even if I wanted
The only
to.
two things I could say is Das Vidanya Suka, which means goodbye, bitch. And then the other one I could say is, what's the other one? Guten Van, Guten Nacht. And I said, is this gluten free? With a question
you go.
mark. All I can say in Russian. I don't know any Russian. The only other typical Russian I know is Nico from Grand Theft Auto 4. That's it.
Exactly.
There you go.
I got
Shoot,
the
I gotta play that game. I gotta play that game again.
Yeah, I'm waiting for GTA 6 to come out at this point, but that's not coming
Oh.
out for a while.
No, I'm just. They keep updating GTA 5, man. What the freak?
Who knows? It's the same shit, different day.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Really.
But-
But yeah, Lord knows what's going to happen on that one. But there is actually one other thing that ended up happening today too, and Jonathan Toews is finally going to come back to the ice for the first time since August 18th of 2020. And he hasn't played because he was dealing with chronic inflammatory response syndrome. So nice to see him back finally on the ice. It's been a while.
Oh hell yeah!
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Congrats to him. And I'm really happy for Toews because I always liked the guy.
Yeah.
Oh
same
yeah,
here.
one of the best captains in the game. Kidding me?
Yeah, him and Kane together. I mean, that's just a great combo.
Yeah.
It's good to see back.
Mhm. And then a couple other comments that are on there. Dennis Scholl says, "Go Buffalo Bills and Sabres." Absolutely. I'm looking forward to next week when we absolutely annihilate Houston because Houston's a total dumpster fire of a team right now.
Well, don't jinx it, Tom, because you never know.
True. But
Oh
It'll be-
yeah,
it'll be
David
Tyrod-
Mills. That'd be
Could be.
totally scary.
yeah,
It'll be
it could
Tyrod
worse.
Taylor's little homecoming.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Oh gosh, what, he get injured again?
Yep.
Mhm.
Why am I not surprised?
It's Josh Allen versus David Mills.
Who?
Exactly.
Yeah. David Mills.
I don't know. It's just weird how everything comes about with these guys. Like, I seriously can't wrap my head around that. The fact that Houston is down already their third string quarterback. Like, how insane does that sound to you guys?
Oh, it's nuts. Like, what are they going to do? Go to some grocery store and pull some bag boy known as Tyler Heineke and put him on the field?
I don't know. But you know what game I'm really looking forward to this week, aside from the Bills, is the Buccaneers-Patriots game on Sunday Night Football.
Yes. Oh man, how interesting that's gonna be.
Right. And just think about it this way. Tampa lost this past week.
To the Rams.
Yeah. To the Rams, man.
Rams are
man.
on fire right now.
So are
Oh,
the Panthers. The Rams, the Panthers.
Chargers look really good.
Yeah, I would say Arizona looks pretty good. Buffalo
Yeah.
looks pretty good. I'm not confident in Kansas City. I'm just going to be completely honest.
Right.
Yeah, especially that defense.
I
Mm-mm.
don't. I
There's
do
a hole
not.
in that line right now.
I do not think Kansas City is as good as people say they were. I mean, they were really good last year, but they got torched in the Super Bowl, and now look at them. They lost to the Chargers, and God knows what's going to happen to them going forward. And people said, "Oh, you got to improve the offensive line." Well, it turns out that the offensive line, while it is good, it's not holding it. You know, it's not strong enough at this point to hold off Patrick Mahomes because he's basically running for his life.
Yeah. And how about this? Patrick Mahomes, 1-2 for the first time ever to start a season.
Wow.
He has not looked anywhere close to what he looked like last year.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Still don't count him out. Still don't count him out for.
Right.
It just
But,
who knows.
Yeah.
But
Can
that
I just-
defense still has issues.
Yeah, can I just give a quick shout out to my fiance because she absolutely fucking hates Patrick Mahomes.
We gotta
Oh,
get
boy.
better on
What do you
all
ever
these
do
days.
to her?
Last year.
Wait,
What did I say last year? I said he's gonna get too ahead of himself and he's gonna go right off the deep end. I said it last year.
yeah, you did. I remember that.
That's true. And
Yeah.
actually, one quick thing too. Coach Andy Reid was actually taken off in an ambulance during the game. Also,
Yeah, I heard about that.
So hopefully everything works out okay for him. It looks like nothing serious. It was more like a
Yeah, he got released from the hospital.
Well, hopefully he's okay because
Yeah, I hope so too.
Mhm, yeah. And I
Well,
want to say some of the fans that were saying, "Oh, well, Coach Reid should die." Screw you guys.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, there were some fans I saw on from some different teams, like Pittsburgh fans and some other teams, and they were saying, "Oh, well, good thing it happened to him." It's like no matter what, if you're from the opposing team, you still don't want to fish it.
F those people, okay?
Exactly.
F those people, for real.
Exactly. And
Come
that's-
on, dude.
Yeah, and one of the things, like even when I saw that, I'm like, really? So when I was looking at stuff earlier this week, I mean, I actually threw a comment on there. It's like, hey, from a Bills fan, respect to Coach Reid. I mean, he's had a hell of a career. I mean, and he's
Yeah.
actually one of the coaches I really like.
Yeah.
I always liked Andy Reid, but
Yeah.
But it's too bad though that the Walrus couldn't win a Super Bowl with the Eagles.
Right. But for him to win with the Chiefs, though, I mean, honestly, I am glad that he did get it with the Chiefs.
Yeah, so nobody can no longer make fun of him. But you know what though? Even after he won the Super Bowl, his legacy of failure is still up on YouTube.
True. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, he's been a good coach for a long time. So,
did you what do you call it? Did you know that Andy Reid was once a punt blocker for the Rams?
yeah, I knew that.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, he was a coach during Brett Favre's days in Bay.
Well, that I knew, but like I didn't know Andy Reid played for the.
Yeah, they knew.
I didn't know he played for the Rams for a little while. I mean, I saw the picture, but I wanted to see how many people, remember that. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Were they L.A. or St. Louis?
I think they were L.A. I don't think they went to the. I don't think the Rams when Andy Reid was there, played in St. Louis yet. I don't think.
Really? You don't think so? Oh my God.
I think it was like early '90s, mid '90s that they went to St. Louis. Something like that. Something crazy.
Well, yeah, because they ended up moving into the Dome at that point, and then basically once their old owner died, then Kroenke ended up buying them, and now they play in that $5 billion stadium.
Yep.
Which is very interesting because that has a roof on it, but it's actually not an enclosed stadium.
What is?
SoFi. It's not a retractable roof. It's just a cover.
I actually like it that it's not a retractable roof.
Yeah.
Because, I actually like that because you know what it is? It gives it a unique feel to the stadium. I'd like to go to Los Angeles, but
I'd love to see that stadium.
I would too. But
Yeah.
the only thing is though I would have to ask for permission because she's always told me she would never want to go to Los Angeles. So I have to really convince her to come with me to go to a Rams game. If they ever
California, period.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
See that you just heard her, right?
Yeah, but it is pretty neat though because SoFi is really an open air
stadium.
It's kind of like T-Mobile Park in Seattle. It just has the roof on it, but it's open on all sides, and it's a clear roof that they put on too.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how this is going to come about. I think the only way I'm ever going to Los Angeles is if I'm going on like a road trip with the boys. That's the only way I'm ever going to a Rams game in Los Angeles.
Right. Although I actually wouldn't mind watching a game in Seattle at some point either. But that would be like one stadium I would go to. LA would be another. Let's see what else. I would never want to go see a Patriots game. Like in Foxborough. I would never want to go there.
I would love to do that with Brittany. Go to a Bills Patriots game in Foxborough. I actually would love to do that.
I think where else I would like to go. I mean, I actually would not mind sitting in the stands in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you should come to MetLife Stadium, and that's all of you. I live here. I've been to MetLife, so I know what it's like. So
yeah, I was gonna say. Now, when you go, do you actually wear the Bills jersey and they don't kill you?
You know what? It's funny you say that because every time I go to a Bills game when they play the Jets at MetLife, usually the people there are pretty cool. But when it comes to game time, they're like completely different human beings at that point. All you hear is Jets, 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 Jets. That's all you hear. And every time the Jets, and you know what it is too? Jets fans are some of the cockiest people on the planet. They will legitimately rub it in your face, and they'll talk about how great their organization is. And yet, everyone knows how hot garbage they are, but they will never admit it.
Hey.
I am literally overdue to go to a Giants or Jets game because see the thing I used to live in New York City. I'm from there, and then not once have I been to a Giants or Jets game. So I don't know what the heck I was thinking. I gotta go.
Brooklyn for a while, didn't you?
Huh?
You lived in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. I gotta go.
Let's make a plan for next year. All of you guys come to Long Island. I'll take you to the Long Island Railroad, or we'll travel by car, or whatever. We'll tailgate. I'll make sure we'll have a good time. And we'll go to the Bills Jets game next year at MetLife, depending what time of the year it is.
I would like to go. I also like to go to a Tampa game. Maybe I might go this year. Who knows?
Tampa's pretty nice. I've been down there before.
Yeah, well,
Stadium's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but I mean, the city of Tampa itself is nice, especially Channel side.
Yeah, Because I'm pretty sure Britt and I, after we get married, I'm pretty sure that we're going to want to go to a few stadiums across the country just to go and watch the Bills. Because we're not going to always go to MetLife. So we may as well, granted, we'll most likely go to every Bills game going forward when they play at MetLife. But, I want to go to, a different arena. I wouldn't mind going to Baltimore. I wouldn't mind going to Cincinnati. I wouldn't mind going to Cleveland. I wouldn't mind going to, Pittsburgh or
Pittsburgh's
or
a nice
Denver or anywhere that's priceable, affordable, stuff like that. I was even willing to go to Tennessee, but they're not playing the Bills are playing the Titans in Tennessee in a few weeks, and we're not going to be able to go because I was just in Tennessee 2 weeks ago.
Well, Bobby, the one thing I can tell you, Pittsburgh is only about 4 hours from me, and I know that city very well because I almost lived there. So I am very familiar with good areas, not so good areas, the downtown, how to get to the stadium. And yes, you can take the train down to the stadium.
Right. But I'm definitely open to suggestions for sure.
Well, yeah. And I want to check out UBS at some point too, once they open that up, because that place, I've seen some recent pictures of it. That looks really neat for a new Islanders home.
What, UBS Arena?
Yeah. Yep.
Or how about this, Sean? Go to the Islander Kraken game at UBS Arena in January.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk. I would not go to the Garden at the moment. I would either go to UBS Arena or the Prudential Center in New Jersey. That's the only two places I would recommend right now.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Cool. And on that note, we're actually done with the hours. So, of course, one of the things I will say, anyone who wanted to call in, I will tell people this: if you beg to get on, you're not getting on, straight up. But if you want to call in, get in the show, absolutely, you're welcome to. Just don't be begging in the comments, please. And then, other than that, before we wrap up, any final thoughts?
No, I'm good for the week.
Yeah, I'm good right now.
Well, hey, Petrarca's best friend. You good? All right, cool. So what we'll do is, of course, we'll be back next Wednesday night. To those who called in, Chutta Bob, thank you. We appreciate it. Nice to see you again, as always. And then we'll see you next week. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other, guys.
Bon voyage.
Buffalo After Dark is an HNH studio production and distributed by Horns and Hooves Entertainment.